Keys, scales, chords, they're all related. When I say keys, I don't mean the keys on a keyboard. I actually mean what's referred to as the key, like the scale that a song's written in. Normally indicated at the beginning here of the song. You can see that after the treble clef, or bass clef, there's actually nothing, like no sharps or flats in between that and the C for common time, the time signature. So you would say that this piece of music here is in the key of C major. So if we base today's tutorial on C major from C to C is the scale. Okay, C major has no accidentals, as we call these, sharps or flats. It's all white keys. A scale normally spans over one octave, O-C-T-A-V-E, oct meaning 8 notes in a scale. So we're basing it from C up to C. Okay, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. You can continue, of course, D, E, F, G, going that way, and of course going down, which would then sort of fall it down into the bass clef with C, B, A, G, F, E, D, down to the lower C. And that's a scale. Now, a scale refers to, as I said, a series of notes over the octave, so 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then there'd be another 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the next C, and so on. As you play different scales or learn about different scales, keys, key signatures, some start to have the black notes. F major, for instance, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. Okay? And they will be sharps or they'll be flats, depending on what the scale is, of course. The scale is built up of a series of what we call tones and semitones. A tone is like that, where there is one note in between. Okay? A semitone, semi meaning half, as you probably guessed, would be like that. The closest two notes can get together is a semitone. Tone is where there's one in the middle. So a scale, a major scale, is tone, tone, semitone. You can't get any closer than those two there. Tone, 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 and another semitone. So using that method, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, depending what note you start on, you can actually work out any scale, or any, should I say, any major scale. There's a big difference between major and the various minor scales. So like I played before, F, let's just have a look at F scale. So we just move the camera a little bit that way. Okay, so we've got a tone, see there's one in the middle, another tone, there's one in the middle, a semitone, now the closest you can get, okay, then another tone. Well, from the black note to the white note's a semitone, so you have to jump it. There's a tone. You can see there's one here in the middle. Then another tone, and finish on a semitone. So you can see that we have a black note in the scale. And there's F major. Now, as I said before, basing it on any scale, or starting note, which we'd call a key note, you can work out any major scale quite easily using tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So C major scale, from the notes from C up to C. Okay. Within the scale, we have what we call intervals or degrees of the scale. C, of course, or your key note is always number 1. D would be 2. E would be 3. F4, G5, A6, B7, and of course C to C is the octave or perfect octave. It's got a few different names you can use. And that is basically how scales are formed. Now from scales, the key signature, as I said before on this piece of music, we would have any sharps or flats written in here. Other pieces of music may have sharps or flats written in the music. Some may have lots of sharps, some may have lots of flats. As an example, this one here, for instance, has 2 sharps. You can see them written here at the beginning of the song. Okay, so this particular one has 2 sharps, which would put it into the key of D major. Another one here, as an example, has, oh, this is a good one, has 3 flats. See the 3 flats written here at the beginning of the line. Okay, and that would mean it would be what we call in the key of E flat major. But you don't have to worry about all that at the moment. If we can just focus on the notes of C scale. If you've got a keyboard at home, sit down, play along. Listen to each of the pitch, maybe sing the note, la the note, hum the note, as you're going through playing the different notes of the scale. Start at the top, go down, come back up, start at the bottom, and come back up, and then back down again. You could do it over several octaves, so you can actually start down lower or up higher. So you can hear the higher pitch of the C scale, and also the lower, if you want to go really low, or just from middle C down to the lower pitch C. But everything's based on, as I said, 1 octave, O-C-T-A-V-E, oct, meaning 8, like an octagon has 8 sides, octopus has 8 legs. The original calendar, October, was the 8th month. So oct meaning 8. And it's basically just the same sequence. Once you learn the patterns, there's a little bit of maths and that involved in music too, I guess. But once you learn the patterns and how things are formed, music gets easier and easier. As you've probably found in the other tutorials that I've been doing over the last few weeks, it just gets easier and easier. So if you can focus on that, go back over the scale, the semitones, tones, semitones, semitone, tone, semitone, 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 semitone. Tone, where there's 1 in the middle. Semitone, where there's nothing. You can't play a note in between the crack there. Like that's it. That's as close as the 2 notes can get. That's a semitone. And as I said, from there, it's just a matter of then learning the scale. We'll just focus on C. And once you get that, grasp that, we can then move on to chords, which we will start to progress on to chords in the next tutorial. Once we get the chords going, of the major scale, we can then start looking at putting all that together with everything else we've done, note values, note names of course, and look at then putting it all together to how a song is formed with harmonies, with chords, and then turn that into actually writing your own song. So yeah, learn the scales and the notes, and we'll put it all together. C to C.